Welcome to another VeVe Digital Collectibles comic breakdown. I'm Corey with VeVe, and today is one of those incredible days where I get to talk about a powerhouse of a comic. Incredible Hulk #1, the first appearance of Bruce Banner, aka Hulk. That's right, this 5-part comic introduced the brilliant scientist Bruce Banner, his alter ego Hulk, and also sports first appearances for Betty Ross, her father General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, and Rick Jones. Before we dive into the Hulk-sized history, let's go over the drop details. Thanks to the incredible feedback from our faithful collectors, Incredible Hulk #1 is now scheduled for release on Saturday, July 8th at 8 a.m. Pacific Time. Minting 10K editions across the 5 rarities, this comic will have a retail price of 20 gems. And yes, this will be a blind box waitlist drop. For more information about how waitlist drops work, please check the video description for a full breakdown article. Alright, let's dig into this epic origin story. Published on May 1st of 1962 with a story by Stan Lee and art by Jack Kirby, this was the comic that started it all for Incredible Hulk. You've heard this origin story many times across many mediums, but it all started right here, 61 years ago. In part 1 of this comic, we'd be introduced to Bruce Banner, Betty Ross, and General Ross. Bruce Banner has been tasked with the creation of a gamma bomb, and part 1 is the lead up to its testing. However, an unexpected visitor, Rick Jones, wandered out onto the testing range. This would lead Bruce Banner to rush out of the safety of the bunker to save this young teen's life. The result was his transformation into the gray-skinned monster, the Hulk. And that brings us to our first interesting bit of history with this classic comic, and that's the idea that Stan Lee originally envisioned the Hulk's skin as being gray. Despite that intention, due to printing issues of the era, the Hulk's coloring would appear more green than gray. In the very next issue, Incredible Hulk #2, the green skin would be embraced fully. We won't go too deep into this comic because it's just a super fun read, but we will touch on an amazing bit of trivia that this comic introduced, and that is Bruce Banner's wardrobe selection. Why the purple pants? Indeed, when many people think of this classic era of Hulk, they think of his tattered purple pants. And we'd get the backstory and the origins of these purple pants more than half of a century later in Immortal Hulk #4. In this comic, we'd learn that Bruce had donated his entire wardrobe to charity while in college, and had decided to buy an entire closet full of 10 identical suits. Bruce also let us know in that comic that purple was a timeless color. Unlike Bruce's wardrobe choices, Hulk's popularity as a character has only increased over time. His battles, team-ups, and story have become legendary. From crossing fists with the most popular superhero teams, to joining them, to setting out on his own in solo series and spin-offs, Hulk has become a name that is synonymous with Marvel itself. His many manifestations, many of which we already have on VeVe already, have become iconic in their own right. And as I like to say, that history all began right here with the comic we're looking at today, Incredible Hulk #1. And adding to that immense history are our VeVe-exclusive rare and ultra-rare covers coming from Saviuk and Rachelle Rosenberg. These two have collaborated on many amazing VeVe-exclusive covers already. One of my favorite recent entries from them was Fantastic Four #4, which was the first Silver Age appearance of Namor, the Submariner. Classic rendering with vibrant modern coloring is a hallmark of their collaborative style. Let's take a closer look at all the covers and the editions being minted. First, the common classic covers, minting 6,000 editions. An iconic cover for an iconic character. This is a replica of the original, and it's a cover we have seen homaged many times over the years. Unlike the interior of the comic, where the Hulk doesn't come off as gray, this cover provides Stan Lee's original imaging of the character. Next, the uncommon vintage variant is minting 2,250 editions. Bruce Banner gets the color selection on this one. He's wearing his brown pants, which brings the pant color total to 3 for this comic. Regardless, this color selection will make for an amazing addition to any collector who is a fan of the treasured history of Incredible Hulk. Our first VeVe exclusive coming from Saviuk is the rare hero variant, and it is minting 1,000 editions. Not only are we getting a more modern depiction, Saviuk's decision to remove all the extra text bubbles and flavor text allows him to increase the size and space Hulk takes up on the cover. Lots of elements get homage from that original cover, which shows a lot of restraint and respect for the source material. Next, the ultra rare vibranium variant is minting 500 editions. Rachelle Rosenberg joins Saviuk on this piece, applying her careful use of color across the entire cover. There's a lot to love on this cover. The size, scale, and coloring of the Hulk is perfect. I also think the way the Hulk's face is rendered pays tribute to this era of Hulk in a big way. Between the limited editions, uniqueness of styling, and beauty, this is definitely a comic for discerning collectors. Finally, the secret rare True Believer variant is minting 250 editions. This is a top tier selection from the interior of the comic to repurpose as a cover. Here's the page it is being sourced from. It's page 1, part 1 of the comic itself. For many of us, we've grown up knowing the Hulk as something that's always existed, but for readers of this era, this was a brand new concept that had never been seen before. I imagine the wonder they felt when they opened this book for the very first time. When I look at pages and panels with that perspective, it really emphasizes how unique and amazing secret rare covers like this one are. And that's a wrap for this breakdown video. What an amazing day for collectors this is going to be for those of us on VeVe. I might even get some purple pants for this drop to increase my chances. With that being said, best of luck if you decide to go for this one. And until the next breakdown video, keep learning, sharing, and collecting what you love. This is Corey with VeVe, signing off.